Welcome to the Talent Show, where you'll meet the people who power TTEC. I'm Helen, and I will be your host for today's episode. We know that all of us want to work in a great place where your voices are heard and our contributions are valued. In today's episode, we'll learn about how we make this a reality at TTEC and the strategies that we use to create an exceptional workplace for all. But first, before we get started, we always like to ask, where are you joining us from? I am based out of Colorado here in the States. Would love to know where you're listening in from or watching this episode. And we're very, very grateful that you're here today with us. Today, we're honored to feature Katelyn Harpe, our Employee Engagement Manager. Katelyn's efforts have been instrumental. If you will indirectly see all of her work through social media, internally, if you're an employee. She's really at the heart of TTEC, especially has been instrumental in earning us recognitions such as the Great Places to Work certifications across various regions. Her team has also worked tirelessly to ensure that this message is celebrated at our sites with special celebrations and sometimes even sweet treats. So we love that. In this episode, Katelyn's going to help us dive into the experiences and strategies and initiatives she's implemented to engage our employees and create a truly exceptional workplace culture. So, without further ado, let's welcome Katelyn Harpe to the Talent Show. Hello, Katelyn.
Hi, Helen. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Oh, I'm so excited. When I heard it was you, I was like, yes, they get to talk to Katelyn again, which we love hanging out with Katelyn. You're having a good day so far?
Yes. I'm here also in Denver, Colorado, just getting started, wrapping up some things before joining here today, and then excited for the rest of the day and the week.
Amazing. Well, really excited to see all that you're going to unpack today. So, are you ready to dive right in?
Let's go. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So, the very first question I want to ask, just to set the stage, is can you share a bit about your role, the journey that led you to focus on employee engagement at TTEC?
Yeah, certainly. So we'll start with my role and what I do here at TTEC. So I am our Global Employee Engagement Manager, and my team is responsible for our engagement events across the globe, planning, strategizing, sending out resources for those. Also responsible for our diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy and supporting our ERGs, or employee resource groups. For our employee listening strategy, which we're going to talk about here today, making sure that our employees feel heard, they feel seen, and that their contributions are noticed throughout the organization. And finally, my team also supports rewards and recognition pilot programs. So that's a lot. And then also how I got here today. My background is actually in accounting. I'm an accountant by trade and by education. And I entered the workforce, and I very quickly saw this gap in what we want our work to be and what work was for me and where I was at the time. And so I went on a journey to identify how to bridge that gap, how to find true fulfillment and joy in my work. And that led me here to where I'm happy and where I can help employees be happy across the globe.
Incredible. You could probably easily say that you have one of the coolest jobs at the company simply because, like you said, everything that you do is to really move that needle into sparking happiness in our employees' journeys. And that is way cool, Katelyn. So thank you for your hard work. And I can't wait for you to share a little bit of what that looks like. Which you mentioned that you do all these activities, which have led to recent recognitions and certifications. What do those certifications, and can you tell us a little bit about them, mean to you and your team?
Yeah, certainly. It means the world to me and my team. We started, my whole team actually started here at TTEC just last year. So really took the year to understand the organization, understand where there were some areas of opportunity. And then we launched this partnership with Great Place to Work this year. This is our first year of partnership with Great Place to Work. So we were so honored to see that through employee contributions, through our survey, we were certified in 14 different countries. And I have them up because I want to read them. I want to give a shout out to all of these countries that are certified as great places to work. So Australia, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Colombia, Costa Rica, Greece, India, Ireland, Mexico, the Philippines, Poland, the United Kingdom, and the United States are all Great Place to Work certified for TTEC.
Amazing.
So exciting. We know that TTEC is a great place to work, but going into your first year of partnership, it's pretty rare to get certification in so many countries. So we're just so proud and honored to have reached that this year.
Absolutely. That's a massive accomplishment. So if you are listening or watching from anywhere where of these countries like Katelyn mentioned, please jump in the chat, like celebrate together because it's something that we're so proud of and happy to have people from truly a lot of corners over the earth, which is super impressive. So thank you for your hard work there. But we know that it didn't just happen overnight. So would love to hear from you and unpack a little bit. What strategies have you found most effective in ensuring, that employees feel that like their voices are truly heard here at TTEC?
Yeah, certainly. So for me, chief most, just dive into the most important is truly having a place and a space where employees can give candid feedback. And here at TTEC, the chief of most in that process is our annual employee experience survey. Like I said, we partnered with Great Place to Work to execute that survey this year. And this survey is 100% anonymous. And so our employees receive the link. They do need some personal identifying information to access it, just so that not everyone out there who's not a TTEC employee can take the survey. But then once their survey results are received by Great Place to Work removes all identifying information. So no one at the Great Place to Work organization and no one at TTEC can trace a survey back to an employee. And we feel that, and we've seen that leads to truly candid feedback from our employees. And then it's not just enough, right? It's not just enough to ask someone for their opinion or for their experience. We also need to validate their experiences, and then we need to find a path forward. And so once we wrapped up that surveying period at the end of January this year, we took all of February and all of March to review those survey results. We broke that down by department. We broke it down by people leader to really dig into the results and work on action planning that has been distributed across the entire organization. And that action planning is tied directly to our 2024 goals. So you'll see some impacts throughout the organization, no matter where you are. And that's truly key to ensuring that our employees have a positive experience, is validating their experience and making changes based on their recommendations.
I absolutely love that. And I mean, it sounds like a true massive effort to make that happen, cascading it down, really driving that impact and change within the organization. It really shows how not only are employees' voices encouraged, but also heard and driven through action. So do you have any examples in particular on how employee feedback has led to some tangible changes?
I do, yeah. So chiefly, we'll say one that was really exciting for me this year is based off of recommendations last year and especially recommendations from our employee resource groups. Here in the United States, we updated our benefits package for 2024. And so we now include different benefits for folks on our autism spectrum disorder. We now offer gender affirming services, and we've broadened our pregnancy benefits. So that was a really exciting change to become more inclusive, to align further with our diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy and efforts. And then also, again, to affirm that we're hearing the voices from our employees and we're making changes.
Wow, that is truly impressive, from the gender inclusivity to the autism and everything in between, motherhood or parenthood. That is incredible that we're doing that. I've actually haven't heard of some of those, and maybe somebody in the audience haven't heard of some of those either. So if there's a benefit that you absolutely love at TTEC, let us know in the comments. We want to celebrate those. We want to also bring awareness to them. So thank you so much, Katelyn. I know also as part of your strategy, you have kind of focus pillars that really drive it forward. Can you unpack that a little bit more just to gain a deeper understanding of, your frame of mind as you're pushing a lot of these awesome initiatives that have led to great recognition?
Yeah, certainly. So we look at my role and we look at employee engagement as a whole, and we really call it employee experience. We look at that as an entire employee life cycle, and so it's not just about a pizza party that you're having at the Athens, Greece site. Although their site has some really elaborate parties, I don't know if they've ever had a pizza party. Actually, they always go above and beyond. But regardless, it's not about that party. It's not about planning quarterly events. That's just a piece of what we're looking at here. My team truly comprehensively is looking at the entire employee life cycle to ensure that you're being communicated with on the first day of employment, that you feel comfortable with your manager on the first day of employment, that you know where to go, what resources you have, etc. And so we have to work with so many teams to execute that. So again, first day, when we're looking at a new hires and experience, we're working with operations, we're working with learning and development, we're working with our people and culture team. And then when you step back and you look at the bulk of an employee life cycle, we hope it's the bulk. We hope it's the time that you're here at TTEC. How can we influence that? How can we ensure that you're having a good day today, that you're having a good day tomorrow, that you're having a good day next week, that you feel energized, you feel motivated, you feel seen. And that's all tied back to, again, the different pillars of my role being events. Yes, that's important. Ensuring that you feel connected to your colleagues, that you see people, whether that's remotely like we're here today, or whether you see people face to face, that it's more than just a brief interaction, that it's meaningful, that you're connecting with your fellow employees, with your colleagues, with your team members. Two, though, that you're also tied to feeling fulfilled in your work. And maybe that's through our employee resource groups, where you're able to make a direct impact on other employees' experiences and raising awareness for causes that you're passionate about, or whether it's finding true passion and joy in what you do and identifying the key outcomes from your role. And then also stepping back and looking again at the end of the employee life cycle. So if you were to leave TTEC, we want to make sure that it's a place where you feel like you could come back to. Our chief people officer is the chief example there of, she is a boomerang. She left the organization and she came back because she felt like it was a good place to work and a good place to be.
Yeah, no, I love how you unpack that. And it's really a complex workflow or operations system to the madness, right? But the outcome, it is indeed absolutely a beautiful experience that we do try to put together for, and your team in particular puts together in, as you're pulling different departments to achieve all these fantastic efforts, which really brings, I'm gonna put you a little bit on the spot because I didn't prepare you for this one. Which brings the question that we had planned to ask the audience, but I'm interested to know from you, what are some ways, what is your favorite way, I should say, that that TTEC engages employees? And as you're thinking about the response for the audience, let us know in the comments, what are some ways your organization engages with the employees? What's your favorite way that happens? Maybe an initiative. So I have mine in mind, but I want to hear yours first.
Oh, mine first. Okay, really put me on the spot. So my favorite way is through our rewards and recognition programs. And so again, that's one of the pillars of my role. And I had the honor of really leading our Spirit of TTEC award process for this past year. And that really has been so fulfilling to get to read the 400 nominations of TTECers all over the globe who are doing amazing things. And really, the whole program is a great way to engage with our employees, because we're getting their direct stories. We're getting their direct feedback about their colleagues, their coworkers who have gone above and beyond to support this organization, to do things that they're passionate about. And so that's my favorite, is our rewards and recognition programs here at TTEC.
Amazing. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. My favorite's a little bit simpler. It's really just creating opportunities to engage with other people from all over the world through ERG. So our employee resource groups, got to give a shout out, TTEC Familia, Hispanics and Latinos, ERG here at TTEC. It's a really cool space to just get on a group chat and just chat it out and be like, hey, like, what do you like? Or and so forth, and get to know people from all over the world. So excited to hear what our community has, our people are watching have to say as well. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, love our employee resource groups. That's one of the things that my team supports. And I agree with you. That's a great way to get plugged in the organization and to make change in the organization as well.
Absolutely. No, love that. And so just thinking about, let's say somebody's considering a career, be like, wow, Katelyn's story seems amazing. Any pieces of advice for them to be like, somebody's considering to get into your career, and then kind of segueing a little bit, any piece of advice for how do people can just get engaged and be part of experiencing activities that people like you at different organizations put together?
Yeah. So, question first of any advice, career advice, etc. I would say that my what comes to my mind is don't be afraid of the unknown. Again, I come from the accounting world. In accounting, it's very linear. There's a very clear path. You start out as an associate or a junior. You go to staff. You go to senior. There's a very clear path, and hopefully one day you're a controller or you're the chief financial officer or whatever it might be. And that's very comfortable. It's very comfortable to say, I'm going to be in this role for 2 years and then I'll do a great job and I'll be promoted as long as all the numbers line up, right? Yeah. It's a bit scarier to go and say, I want to go have a job title that didn't exist 5 years ago, or I want to go do a job that has no job description, or the organization doesn't know what they need from me. I need to tell the organization where I can be of value and what they need to invest in. So that certainly was a little scary for me to jump into the unknown, but I would say for anyone watching, don't be scared of it. It's really fulfilling. And if it's something you're passionate about and something that you want to do, there will be a path. You just may need to forge it. And then advice for how to get engaged or how to join initiatives, whether it's here at TTEC or in broader organizations. Similarly, if you're passionate about it, then there's going to be opportunities. And so really taking the time to reflect on what you're passionate about, what you truly, what fills your time with positivity as opposed to your time with dread. Pursue that, whether that's in a job change or an organization change, or it's just stretching your scope to include projects that maybe you wouldn't traditionally have the opportunity to work on. I would say really, really invest that time into what you want to do and what's going to fill you up. And by you being filled up, you're going to radiate positivity and you're going to radiate productivity throughout the folks that you're working with day to day.
Amazing. I feel like we unpacked so much
yes.
in a short time, but it's really great insight. So your efforts and dedication, Katelyn, to creating a great workplace at TTEC are truly commendable.
Thank you
so very much. And we hope Katelyn's insights have provided valuable guidance for anyone looking to enhance their employee engagement or create a positive workplace culture. Let's remember, at TTEC, your voice matters, and we are committed to listening and acting on your feedback, and especially through some examples that Katelyn provided today. Before we let our audience get back to their days, we want to spotlight some roles and invite you to consider TTEC as your next employer, because we want you here. We have a lot going on, and it's really exciting. And as Katelyn shared again, we want you to experience TTEC. So the first role we want to talk to you about is a senior sales manager on-site role in TTEC Athens, Greece. It's really a great opportunity to elevate your journey, elevate your career. If you're feeling like you've completely mastered your sales experience and you're ready just for that next level and you have some management experience underneath your belt, guess what? Apply. We want you to spark up your talents here at TTEC. So push that button and we cannot wait to meet you. The second role we have is all the way in Mexico, also on site as an associate payroll analyst. So it kind of brings me back to your accounting days, Katelyn.
Yes, yeah, certainly.
So as you saw, Katelyn's career led her to a different journey. This role can also lead you to even bigger opportunities. So we really want you to consider this role and also apply as a way to help us, grow and making sure our employees at Mexico get paid. So that's a pretty big deal. So the associate payroll analyst role is open in Mexico. So we hope you join us there. So this is a general shout out. We're always hiring customer service representatives because experience matters at TTEC, and you would be the spark that sparks that experience for our customers, and we serve worldwide. So head on to ttechjobs.com if you haven't heard a job that sparked curiosity today, because I'm sure there's something for you there. So go check it out. And that's all for today's show. Thank you again, Katelyn, for joining us. And of course, to you, those listeners, for joining the conversation. If you truly found today's episode valuable, please do consider sharing it to your network or tagging people who might find it useful or meaningful. Until then, goodbye for now. See you next time.